I don't want to cut into Diablo, but I have no choice. Hello. Hello and welcome from Paris. I want to give you guys I want to shove this laptop out the window so you guys can see what's the point if you only see the background of the hotel, right? What I'm afraid of is that I have to unplug my mic to do it, and I don't want that to crash anything. But it might. I don't know how much I can trust OBS. The cool thing is there's skylights. See, there's some Paris out there. Let me tilt this over here. I'm on the tiniest desk too, so I really don't have that much real estate to work with. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. This has been a really good test. I've learned so much. I figured out how to convert this to an actual working controller on a Windows machine, which is not easy by any stretch. Use a series of mirrors. Now that's a good idea. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to yank this mic. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's really loud. All right, this is the shittier mic in my laptop, so you guys should be able to hear me still. I told you I was going to yank it. You guys don't have to tell me there's no sound. I know. All right, and okay, I unplugged my laptop in the cord, yanked a bunch of shit off the table as soon as I did. Okay, this is it. This is real live stream magic. I'm also going to rip the keyboard off. And in so doing, popped my earbuds out, but that's okay. All right. There's a chair in front of the window. Crap. Yeah. It's really cold out, so I can't have it open too long, but... All right. Just gonna lean out here. It'll probably be better if I just flip it around, huh? Behold. Also realized I had to cut the bit rate really hard. But hopefully you guys can see the nice view. The breeze is actually kind of refreshing. No tower? Can't be peggy? There is I don't see anyone parkouring to work. I promise you they're there. Okay. I thought about if I dropped it out of the window. That'd be a pretty incredible stream, wouldn't it? Felt like Half-Life Alyx a bit too much. Alyx is it is a very European game, isn't it? All right, now let's see if I can seamlessly go back to my other mic. I can. Cool. Good job, OBS. Okay. All right. Now there's a video game here, I promise. So did that look okay? I couldn't see the monitor when I was doing that. I also thought about if I ever take a break, I could just prop my laptop up in the window, have a nice little city view. Ooh, .cas. Thank you for Super Green Miner. Thank you for the Prime. Whew. Wait, why is it different names? It says Super Green Miner in chat, but .cas in the alerts. Maybe it was all banked up. Anyway, okay. Hard to get a feel for the sunlight, but looked nice. It is nice. One thing that would be I wish I had thought of this before I left, but if I had brought a... Oh, Dotcast did one before you. Okay. All right, well, thank you, Dotcast. If I had brought like another webcam and a USB extension cord, I could just have drooped a camera outside and had that as a feed in here, and it would have been sick. And the webcam's not really that big. I had to cut some gear. Why am I in Paris? Stephanie has a work trip here, which meant I got a free hotel. I just had to look at ticket prices, and I was able to jump on a flight that was pretty cheap. So yeah, all I had to do was really pay to get here. So very lucky. Order one. I don't want to buy another webcam just to just to do that. Although I guess webcams are pretty cheap, aren't they? All right, hold on a second. Let me unmute the game here. So Square sent me some codes for this, and I will give them away eventually. What I figured is that I would kind of dick around in all of the Final Fantasies leading up to 6. There we go. And then spend the majority of my time in 6. Okay. I don't have all my world-renowned, world-famous audio junk set up on my laptop version of OBS. I also don't have like all my fancy graphics and stuff, so. But yeah, basically I'm gonna dick around in Final Fantasies 1 through 5, maybe spend like 30 minutes in each. I've also swapped the fonts out because you have to. I don't know what Square's thinking with that trash font. Maybe they just didn't want to pay for the licensing. But they've made their own fonts. I don't understand. Like, maybe they licensed the fonts they used for the Game Boy Advance versions and they just didn't want to use them. But I also shouldn't speak too harshly because they gave me the games for free. So, you have to license fonts? Yeah, they're not free. Whew. One of the other parts of figuring this out was mapping this thing to keyboard inputs because Windows recognizes the stick as a hat switch, and most games don't map hat switches to inputs by default. But it did here. I already need a keyboard. And I'm taking it off. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Gotta put in names. It's interesting that they give you like a setup party instead of asking you to like roll all the classes. Oh, you can just hit suggested names. Why didn't I do that? Well, that's not fun though. Yeah, fonts can get really expensive. Because it's one of those things where they're sold to businesses, and when they're licensed, they know that they can charge a shitload. We helping name shit? Sure. Okay. What's your history with Final Fantasy? I've beaten all of them except Final Fantasy 2. Well, all is a strong term. I've played and beaten all the mainline ones except 2. And I've played a lot of the spin-offs, but I can't claim to have, like, completed every game with Final Fantasy in the title, because there's an ass load of them. But, I really like the series. I like most of them. Alright, I'm just gonna pick random names from chat. Do people make font royalties? Sure. Carl. For asking that, you get to be the warrior. Oh, you can change the classes. I remember Thief being pretty fucking useless. In Final Fantasy 1, Monk is tight though. Anthrax Bees gets to be the monk. Yes, Una obviously takes White Mage. OJ Dude said Jiggler, so that's good for me. Oh boy. Okay. Already going insane, I see. Ooh. Got a fancy intro roll? I haven't played any of the final... I played 4 a little bit recently. The PC version of the DS game. the red mage bad? I think the red mage is okay. I just remember the monk being like crazy overpowered because you get like multiple hits, and when you stack stats, then the monk can get like 18 hits in one turn and just does ridiculous damage. Yeah, this is Final Fantasy 1. This is Garland or Kefka? This is Garland. Kefka's from 6. Not much of a villain, really. Although this is good research for Stranger of Paradise. Actually, I just realized I got a big old smudge over my webcam. It's probably hurting my image quality. Hold on a minute. You need to see this crisp webcam at a startling 3 megabits. Also, hold on. My webcam is framed all weird. Yeah. The crystal. The boomer angle, yeah. Son? How's college going? This is a bit better. It's still head on, though. Got it. Is this the game that has, like... I think it might be Final Fantasy 3 that has, like, the random dance sequences when you talk with the dancers inside the bar. It's also kind of weird to be able to walk diagonally. Oh, it's 5? Okay. That makes sense. 5 is awfully whimsical. Yeah, they've done it. They've done it. This is the power of remasters. I feel like I'm watching a Zoom meeting. A person sharing their screen during a meeting and sharing their game on accident instead of the work screen. It's just running in the background. I don't have that studio lighting. Dappy Delirium, thanks for the resub. Oh, thank you for the kind comments, too. Pleased to have found a great community in your Twitch channel. All of the good contents. I mostly just wanted to see if I could even do it. To see if it would work. Seems to be working. This game is balanced for diagonal movement. This is gonna really upset the speedrunning world. Shouldn't have any money yet. Oh, I have money. Okay. I don't think you want to give the monk anything. I could be wrong, but I seem to recall just letting the monk go barehanded is the real king move. Why do I have 3 stabs? Oh. That's why. And then the fighter can hold 2 weapons, I think? Man, I played this so long ago. I think it was like... I think it was when... It was some summer break. I can't remember exactly what grade it was. This was like in the era of PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy games. You're digging the camera angle? I have to keep checking. Because I don't know what it looks like. I only have this one monitor, and it's mostly filled with the game, chat, and my feed, my sub feed. So there's very little room left over to keep an eye on the stream. So apologies in advance if this shit goes wonky. It's all an experiment, you know? There we go. Oh, at the start the nunchucks are better? Okay. I mean, I don't know that I necessarily need to, care too much about min-maxing. I'm not gonna be playing this for too long. I'm also kind of wondering if the hotel staff is gonna come in and try to clean while I'm dicking around. That optimal right there, easy. Oh, I can see it, Joe. I just have to click on it. Okay, and there's a knock at the door. 1 second. Why? Of course there is. That's abrupt. Hey, I'm back. Guess what? I'm back. Okay. There's like 18 things I gotta click. Alright. That is back. Don't worry, my room is now clean. Everything's fine. I don't know why it keeps turning on the map. In case I get lost in the weapons shop. Like, let me I just don't know where the door is. Let me check the map. Ah, it's right down. Okay. That was the omelette du fromage. I actually haven't had one of those yet, believe it or not. I have had a croissant. I have had a petit café. Con crème. I had a shit. I did have a shit. I had a Parisian shit. I had a charcuterie. I'm trying to remember what the word is, though. It's like it's the French word for plank. Un petit shit. Let's see. I think it's probably still up in Google Translate. Or it was. I just wanted to see. Was it not in my history? Whatever, who cares? Blanche, that's it. Blanche mixed. Mixed. It had meat and cheese on it. Have you been to Montmartre? No, I have not. I don't know what that is. I have been to the Louvre, and that's kind of it. I have been in France for just about 24 hours at this point. A little more than 24 hours, actually. Yeah, the trip here was pretty bonkers. I was sick the day before, so I didn't get a whole lot of sleep the night before the flight. The flight, woke up at like 6 a.m. to go to the airport, had to get a connection through Seattle. It was like 14 hours of being on planes. Landed in France at like 8 a.m. And that was after like basically getting 3 hours of sleep. And basically landed at midnight my time. And stayed up for another, God, another 10 hours to try and reset to local time. You don't look jet lagged? Well, I slept. I just stayed up for like 30 hours on top of being sick and low on sleep in the first place. But the good news is the sickness is basically past at this point. Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. Sacré-Cœur? I've seen that on Google Maps. So, the itinerary... I might actually go there tomorrow. Wednesday I have to write for Inside Games, so I gotta reserve some time for that. Tomorrow, the reason that I'm here is that Red Bull is throwing a cyberpunk event. So a lot of people from CD Projekt are coming out to see that, to basically scout it and see if they want to do similar events in their territories, which is why I'm here. Also, I get to go to the event, so that's cool. But I went to the Louvre the day we landed. Landed, checked into the hotel, had to go to a pharmacy to convert my CDC vaccination document into the French version, which is on an app. But basically, there was a process to have them check it and convert it, and basically now I have this little QR code that comes up on my phone. But you kind of have to have that to go in anywhere here. Did I hit a... How did I... Oh, I think it's this. There we go. I need that warrior in front. Okay, so... There's a hill with a good view. I might check it out. Vaccine passports are a real thing. Yeah, it's actually really nice. It's really nice. Everyone in the United States seemed to just bristle at the idea of any kind of collectively organized vaccination program, but it's so quick and efficient here. And it's so much more futuristic. The game audio is a bit loud. I can turn it down a bit. But it's so much cooler having all that shit on your phone than having to carry around a goddamn physical card with ink scribbles on it. Also, it's pretty neat too, because the app basically gives you, when you open it, it gives you rolling updates about vaccination rates, about case numbers and stuff like that. It just puts all the information in front of you, instead of, I guess, giving you the opportunity to decide what you want to believe, which is, I guess, what the United States is. We love our freedom, don't we? But it's like, people here don't have to wear masks, because they got that shit locked off. They figured it out. They used technology to solve a problem, instead of people yelling at each other. Whatever. It was so fast and so simple. It just took a quick check-in. And now if I want to go to like a restaurant or something, they just boop it and that's it. The Pfizer side effects were released. Well, I have Pfizer, and I didn't experience any side effects, so... I'm gonna guess you're not a vaccination fan. Ooh, that's a nice crisp little chirp. This is a pretty good remix. I always loved that really funky bass. Oh, that's right, there's like a fast forward. Oh, there's auto battle. I would almost wish that, I don't like the coercion. Yeah. That is another distinctly American thing. Nobody wants to feel like they have to do anything on behalf of anyone else, but if you live next to people, like, you're coerced to wear a seatbelt in a car, I don't know. There's certain things we do because we accept that to live around people means that there's a baseline. Oh crap. My bandwidth's going screwy. Anyway, I get it. No one wants to have people like barge into their lives and tell them what to do. Well, I mean, how about this? Here you're not coerced to do it. If you don't want to get a vaccine pass, you just don't go anywhere. But that's the cost of living in polite society. Man, I like that grungy guitar. I don't know if I equipped the nunchucks, but he's already getting like 2 hits. I'm waging a one-man war against my HOA? But you moved there! Did you not know they had an HOA? Now I should say I also think homeowners associations are bullshit. It blew my mind when somebody told me what HOAs were and how they worked. I was like, wait a minute, they charge you to tell you what you can and can't do with your own home? Are you kidding me? But I guess the alternative is you just don't live there, but that's not always a realistic alternative, especially when housing prices are whacked out, so I don't know. No, that's bullshit. There's... I get it. HOAs are inherently racist. Huh. I didn't know that. I like that pixel wipe. That looks really cool. It just seems a little odd that there's so much, Oh, that's right, you have to buy spells! I did not buy any spells. I gotta go back. I gotta go back home. Yeah, I'm already doing more damage with with nothing. Why the fuck does HOA exist? To preserve people's housing values. So, this is something else that blew my mind. Property values are a ridiculous thing, but they're real. If you have a home, and it looks nice, and it's pristine, but it's next to a house that looks like garbage. Oh, I see. When you hit left, it automatically puts it into order. It's gonna lower the value of your house. So people that spend a lot of money buying houses and want to keep their value high so they can resell them or take out loans against them, came up with this idea of a homeowners association, where everybody bands together and agrees on a set of rules about how the houses should be kept, how they should look, how ratty the lawns are allowed to get, etc., etc. With the ostensible goal, I'm gonna try to run because I didn't buy any spells, and there's a lot of enemies here. The ostensible goal of preserving property values. Because if like there's 4 nice houses on the block and the 5th one is just a shithole, it's gonna make the entire neighborhood look bad, and people won't want to move in, and people won't want to pay high dollar values for that property. That's my understanding. But oops. Okay. Oh, when you does auto battle just choose the last menu option you chose? I guess so. That's probably where races come into. Yeah. Yes. If a HOA is meant to preserve property value, then it's not that much of a logical leap to assume that also means they would want to control the people who move into the neighborhood. I always do this shit. I get stuck talking about heady topics. I'm just trying to rock out to some dope jams. I want to do this, like, intro boss fight with Garland, and then move on to 2. Because 2's got some baller music, too. And a really weird leveling system. Which is to say, it doesn't have a leveling system. Really, really interesting game, Final Fantasy II. It's the only one that I didn't finish, because I was leaning really hard on save states. I was playing the NES ROM. And, yeah, I didn't even go to these. I learned how to abuse the leveling system pretty early on, which basically means you have to kick your own ass in fights multiple times. So I, like, power leveled up my stats, and I was just like, I just want this game over with. And then I went to the last dungeon and save stated in, like, a complete fail state in the last boss fight. And since I was leaning on save states, the actual, like, battery save I had was 10 hours or so ago in playtime, and I didn't feel like replaying the game that much. So yeah, 2 is the only one I haven't legitimately beat. I guess if I was using save states, so that doesn't count anyway, but whatever. Alright, I'm gonna buy some spells, and then I'll be good. Also, what's up, JC? It's good to see you. Hated my old HOA. I caught a lady outside my house with a literal ruler on my grass. I wish I was joking. And they constantly tried to find me from my neighbor's weeds. Yeah, well that's the other part of it. Somebody said that it's just for Karens who have nothing better to do. I feel like that's how it ends up, right? If there's a neighborhood, the only people who are gonna volunteer for that and spend that time giving a shit are the people who are gonna, like, be too into it, right? Dia? They're calling it Dia. I guess Holy is... Nobody likes Holy anymore. Also don't even think... I wonder what that was called in original Final Fantasy 1. I can't remember. Yeah, 2 is really cool. Very ahead of its time in terms of its, like, progression mechanics and stuff. Oh, thank you, Kite. I've had a great time so far. Oh, it was called Dia? Really? Man, I don't remember that. That's crazy. Yeah, it's been good. The weather's been really nice. It's cold, which is refreshing. Bracing. Man, I didn't expect to like that music so much. And then we gotta play Final Fantasy III to hear the Crystal Tower theme that's been just pounded into Final Fantasy XIV. I think in Final Fantasy Origins it was called Harm? That's an odd name for a white mage spell, isn't it? Alright. I don't know why it keeps turning on that map. Maybe there's a way to make it so it doesn't... A classic just throw scan lines over everything? Oh, that's kind of cool. I do like that you can just have it auto-battle the whole way through the game. What's up? Yeah, Britt? I'm incensed. Well, bitrate dropping a little bit. No, we're good. Holy is literally the most powerful magic in Final Fantasy at the same time. I guess Ultima wasn't a... No! Final Fantasy II had Ultima. I remember that, because that's what I cast on myself to try to power level HP at the end of the game, over and over again. I went to the first town because it had the cheapest inn. I would step outside, get in a fight with the weakest enemy, completely obliterate myself. God. Ugh! The Joy-Con has some dead zone issues. The high-res numbers are throwing you off? Yeah, I replaced the fonts with something a little more in line with the GBA fonts. Luckily, you could just drop a font file in the folder and it reads whatever that file name is called, so it's actually pretty easy. I didn't do a ton of research on picking the perfect font, just something that wasn't the gross fonts that it packed with. Should have used the GTA fonts. Price down. The Mystic Key. Oh yeah, Britt. This is basically Dragon Quest. Yeah. Dragon Quest kind of did it first, and then Final Fantasy is sort of the also ran. Dragon Quest established the like turn-based battle system. Well, I guess it didn't... It basically established the JRPG formula, that's for sure. I'm trying to think about... Because there were some games... There were some CRPGs, some Western RPGs, that were basically conversions of Dungeons & Dragons into a computer game. Dragon Quest was the first, like, JRPG, which still was sort of Western fantasy in its design. It had dragons and armor and knights and kingdoms and stuff. Poor Jiggler. That's a really good name for it. Ah, okay. Are these old Final Fantasies worth playing outside of historical appreciation? A little bit. They're cozy, they're simple. The music owns. This is also available on Android and iOS, which is probably the best way to experience these games today. Wow, that is... These guys are taking a lot of damage. Yeah, 6 is great. 4 is fun. 5 is fun. 6 is really good. 6 is worth playing, I'd say. I think it narratively probably holds up. Also, it was pretty ahead of the time in terms of its like format. The characters are pretty complicated. They have it gets pretty dark. It gets pretty intense. There's some real oh shit moments. Yeah, 4 is a stage play. 4 is a melodrama. If you go to it expecting it to be a big old anime soap opera, then your expectations are set properly. But 4 also has some banging music. Oh. Man, I spent all this time trying to get the stupid Joy-Cons to work, and now I'm just debating switching to keyboard because the dead zones are so whack. Also, I think poison sticks around after fights? That could be wrong. Sure does. Means I need antidotes, too. Damn it. I don't think I have any spells for that. Ow, 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 ow! How far are you in Elden Ring? I am not very far at all. I just haven't really had a ton of time to play. I was traveling when it came out. I went to the DICE Awards. And now I'm traveling again. I did the shockingly non-gamer move of being social and going out into the world versus saying no and staying at home and playing video games. Damn it. Are there any third party out there that make Elite Joy-Con? I mean, 8-bit dough makes some pretty compact Bluetooth controllers. I thought about getting one, if I'm going to be traveling. That would be a really good investment. I thought I could just, I mean, I brought my Switch, but I need hardware to stream Switch. I need an Elgato, and a cord, and a dock. And I did have room in my suitcase for all that. But if I can basically, so I'm using my Surface right now, which is a really nice productivity machine. It doesn't cure poison. You're kidding me. Although I think Steam Deck would be ideal, 100% ideal. Although Steam Deck is like about the same size and heavier than a Microsoft Surface. It's a lot cheaper, but I already have a Surface. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I need to get an antidote. I have to go to the item shop. Get out of the way! Ah, yes. The Final Fantasy urge to get locked in a one tile wide hallway by an NPC. Yeah, I've only heard people saying positive things about the 8-bit DOS SNES controller. Wonder how streaming from the Stream Deck will be, or the Steam Deck. I don't think it's going to have any hardware video encoding, either QuickSync or NVENC, which is kind of necessary if you're streaming from a low overhead computer. Like this has QuickSync, which I'm using to stream, and I'm playing a very low system intensive game. But yeah, if the Steam Deck, I don't know if it has to encode video on the processor. I don't know what else it can get away with. Gosh darn it. Stop going to the left. Ah! I swear to God, I'm hitting down, but it keeps going to the left. Yeah, Joe, I was listening to the new Mac. Stop it! Okay. I have to hit, like, down. I don't know why it keeps registering left. I was listening to the Macross album. I got the first few tracks when I was taking a shower this morning. It was tight. Yep, Sailor Wave 3 is out. If you like future funk, you should listen to it. Alright, I'm gonna go get my ass kicked by Garland. Then we can move on to the next game. And I can give away a few more copies, too. You saw him live with Yungbei and Tanuki? I saw the show that had him, Vantage, Yungbei, and... Oh, I'm blanking on the fourth. Damn, I can't remember. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually, but... I liked Macross' set the best. But I figured I would. That's right, I'm here to kill chaos. I gathered 3 of my best friends. Oh wait, isn't there... There's like an overture, right? There's that, maybe it's after Get Your Ass Kicked by Garland, but there's that like full screen shot of them standing on the cliff, and then it plays the Final Fantasy overture with the text crawl. Yeah, it's like right after this, right? Chaos. I can't wait for that game. Origin of Stranger of Paradise looks awesome. Oh, they kept the knock you down line. There's some fun translation hiccups. Ooh. Got a little sparkle. Scoot, thank you for the sub. I am glad to stream at a friendly time for you. Yeah, the Final Fantasy overture at the Olympics? Ah, that was the best! I'm kind of surprised it was that and not Dragon Quest, right? And the Monster Hunter theme? Man. I guess that's true, yeah. Final Fantasy is bigger worldwide. Yeah. Actually, it would probably be better... I don't think the White Mage does any appreciable damage, so we'll just have you defend. Damage mitigation can be just as important. Oh, Night Tempo. Was it Night Tempo? I think it was Night Tempo. Yes, it was Night Tempo. You're right. Easy. Game over. Victory achieved. So, apparently you get the overture screen after you build the bridge and rescue Sarah, somebody said in chat, so... Right. Adventure. Roto's theme was in the Olympics opening. Who's Roto? So there was Dragon Quest stuff? Oh boy. I'm not as schooled on Dragon Quest as I am on Final Fantasy. Oh, Roto Loto Erdrick. Okay. I know Erdrick. Which is a weird... There's 2 R's in there for some reason. Hey, Bear. Paris is fun. It's pretty. This is a weird observation, but a lot of the buildings are much more monotone than I guess I would have assumed. There's some really cool street art. Also for being like a pre-automotive city, you can tell because the streets here are chaos. They're as chaos as a Final Fantasy boss. When you're at home and have time, you can stream Elden Ring. Oh yes, bro. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna get home in about a week, and it's gonna be all Elden Ring, because I want to produce a review on it. But I'm just gonna be late as shit, which is not the best way to start, but whatever. Welcome to all of Europe. Yeah, I guess Western Europe. I'm trying to think. Amsterdam was pretty colorful. I feel like I was... where was that? Oh, yeah, Berlin. Well, I guess someplace... Maybe it's like... If your city got leveled in World War II, then it's probably been rebuilt with a bit more color. But... I guess I don't know how much of Paris got flattened. Gonna go to any cool underground bars or anything while you're there? I think we're just doing the Highline tourist stuff. So, we have 3 days in Paris to just see the city, basically. And we're both working during some of that. This isn't work, by the way. This is just me having fun. But, I still have to... oh, here we go. Cool. I still have to write inside games, so that takes like maybe 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. Longer if I decide to really go for it. So I'm gonna do that on Wednesday. We already went to the Louvre. We're gonna go to the Eiffel Tower. I booked tickets for that. Steph wants to go see the catacombs because she likes skulls. And that might be all we have time for. And then since Steph is such a Disney nut, we're gonna go to Paris Disneyland for Thursday and Friday. Yes, on Impressions, the shot in the Stranger Paradise trailer was an exact reference to this. This is the formative, this is like the outset of the entire series, really. This overture is used in a lot of different Final Fantasies as well. The prelude and this. It's interesting that, like, they have definitely kept a very moderate hand when it comes to redoing the graphics. They could have built this into this, like, crazy detailed expression, but it's still, the characters are still pretty small. The castle on the horizon's pretty small. It's mostly empty space. I was noticing that about the character art and the enemy art, too. Oh, I got an achievement. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Well, that just means it's time for another giveaway. Let me add the overlay to the scene. There's going to be a lot of, like, construction on the fly. in this stream. Ruben won last time. He doesn't get to win again. Hey, what's up, balls to the walls? It's balls to the walls. It's explicitly THA. Kind of wish they did the Octopath graphics. So I wasn't a big fan of Octopath. I don't think it looked very good. How do you enter the giveaway? You will just have to type a word into chat once it's up. It'll say on screen what you need to do. So, never fear. Okay. So somebody said I have to choose. So since I'm giving away codes for Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster first, I also have some codes for the entire collection. I should probably do the collection first because, well, whatever. Who cares? Yeah, I could do auto crossbow, but boy, that's a long word, isn't it? Whatever. It's for a good cause. All right. If you want to win a copy of Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, this is for 6. Then type auto crossbow into chat. It's got to be the whole thing. Final Fantasy VI finally had room for all those big words. I remember that being kind of an issue with translations, is like converting katakana or kanji into English meant you had to use like more words, more characters. Oh, it's sometimes translated as autobow. That's kind of better. I don't know that the crossbow aspect is that important, but whatever. Ooh, damn the OT. Thank you for the sub. Just trying to keep an eye on things too. Make sure nothing's blowing up. But yeah, I'm just getting in a cheeky stream while Steph is doing some work stuff. People have been asking how long I'm gonna stream. I don't know. This is largely academic for me. What's some good French food you should try? I never really had it growing up. I didn't really either. I'm not an expert on French cuisine. The foods that I like the most tend to be a result of French imperialism. So I really like Vietnamese food because mixing French and Vietnamese food is the best. A baguette with like Vietnamese grilled meat. Going for escargot? I mean, maybe if it's at a restaurant that we go to. I've had some recommendation, or rather, Steph's gotten some recommendations from some of her old coworkers, and then also the people at CDPR who work in France. So. Yeah, that's my understanding of French cuisine is just that everything is coated in butter. Wrap it in butter, boil it in butter, and then pour butter on top of it. Ah, bon appetit. I do love that most people have said voila. Like the two drivers have said voila when we arrive somewhere. And somebody even said it when they like presented a dish, which is delightful. Are you in France for work or vacation? Both. A little bit of both. I guess there's no work specifically that I'm here to do, even though I'm working while I'm here. I am going to an event with other industry people, though, so that's kind of worky. Does anyone smoke in Paris? It's not as much as I thought it would have been, to be honest. Although I did see somebody on a scooter who, like, just had a cigarette and then, like, stopped at a light, like, flicked off some ash and then took a drag, and I'm like, awesome. That's like going to a restaurant and having your server go, ta-da! Yeah. Or there you go. It's still fun. It's still fun whenever something vaguely stereotypical is real and genuine, I guess. I mean, I got that all the time in Japan. Alright, let me draw a winner here. Bang, who wins? Ooh. Endis. Andy? Congratulations. I'm gonna send this to you via Twitch Whisper. On D's nuts? Oh! Okay, let's move it on up. Let's move it on up. We're graduating. We're done with this. Is there no way to just quit from this menu? Doesn't seem like it. That's okay. We'll just hit that big ol' X. Okay. Final Fantasy II. This one might have the dopest boss battle theme, which, sadly, I was originally exposed to via, the Kulex fight in Super Mario RPG. Actually, I can make it a teeny bit bigger. But that's about all she'll give me. Yep, gotta restart for some reason. Sure. There we go. I guess they have canon names. That's dumb though. I'm gonna take more from chat. They do have dialogue, don't they? They don't really have characters though. I can't really remember. Mick. Alright. It's a good lineup. Ugh. Pubert is a great French name. Pubert. Dongle? Oh, damn. Dongle's a really good name. Alright. The canon sequel to Final Fantasy I. It's interesting how, like, everyone still gets pretty intimidated by the number. I guess the idea of anthologies just still hasn't really caught on in the West. Numbers mean literal sequels. Or it's like, it should just be Final Fantasy : some subtitle. Like Call of Duty. Text goes by pretty quickly. Oh, your name is Marcel, so that's French. Okay. Marcel MK. Ah. Yeah, Agamemnon, they're actually not connected. There's like references. There's running themes that are the same. But no, every numbered Final Fantasy is its own unique world, characters, setting. Whoa, right into a fight? So in terms of like interior references, the combat started with that da 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 da, and then it goes into something else. That's another, like, musical refrains and leitmotifs are very often shared. Oh, scripted loss? Like, they're already using the, like, the turn-based combat system to tell a story, which is pretty cool. There's something really interesting about the era of games where they didn't have every resource available. It feels like nowadays you can do pretty much anything you want. It's just a question of budget and time. But back in the day, like, you had very primitive tools. Mick! You had very primitive tools and a lot of ambition. And it's so interesting to see games bursting at the seams with ambition, but so limited by their technical ability. And it almost seems like it's an inversion today. You have all the resources in the world, but the games that have all those resources at their disposal tend to not be very ambitious, because there's so much data and information about what sells. And people don't like ambition. They like something predictable and palatable. But yeah, indies are interesting now for that exact reason. The tools are very refined. You can get something like Undertale out of one person, because the creative tools are just so robust. I mean, I don't mean to like, the tools don't do it all. You know, you still have to have somebody who's mastered the tools and is very exceptional at using them. But for the daring, yeah, you don't get that in a large budget thing anymore. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do, and that's always a fun happening when a creative uses their name or their clout to get a giant budget for something that hasn't been made before. I'm basically just thinking of Death Stranding, but that's kind of it. You still need one guy to play a lot of Earthbound for an Undertale to happen. What's weird is Undertale isn't the first game that has walked the path of Earthbound. It's just the first one to do it properly. Oh, I forgot the, like, open dialogue system. Hey, what's up, Strider? I have played a little bit of Omori synth, not as much as I would like, but it was really interesting. I'd like to play more of it. That Hylix 2, I really wanted to play more of, and I still hope to someday. I want to play Y2K, another, like, desperately trying to be Earthbound game that seemed to fall well short of it. But I'm into it. What I've seen of Y2K is, it's cringily Earthbound. Don't play Y2K. I want to, though. I want to. I'm the kind of guy who has voluntarily watched Jupiter Ascending more than once. I think I can handle it, but I don't know if I can. That's what I want to know. I want to know if I can handle it. Ooh, yeah, Disco Elysium is incredible. I haven't finished it. That's a game I gotta go back to. From what I've seen, like, not only is Y2K a real tryhard, but also it just runs really badly somehow. Like, creatively, it's kind of insufferable, but also technically it's a pile. That makes it tough. Oh, okay. It's a really slow battle system. It's one thing for a game to be, like, creatively bunk, but if it's a technical nightmare, then it's like, it's just arduous. What is it? Lisa was also another kind of Earthbound-like. That's right, Slosif. I could be out seeing the Parisian sights, but I'm sitting in the hotel playing Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, it's gamer time. Well, look at this art though, huh? We got up. Oh, 2 broadswords. What? Oh, I gotta swap that. Okay. Yeah, we gotta find you. Gotta find you, MC. Whatever, I was already at the Louvre. I stayed up for 30 hours straight to see the Venus de Milo, and I did. And her ass was fat. You could see her booty crack, too. Although most Greek sculptures have, like, ass dimples. Just looked up one of the early battles in Y2K. 7 minutes for a single enemy, and the music is horrendous. Is it just a bunch of dialogue? How do they even do that? But that's what I find fascinating about it, is like, somebody had to, like, before they released the game, somebody had to sit down and play it, right? And somehow, in that process, when they were playing their own game, it didn't occur to them that 7 minutes for a simple battle was like not gonna work. Or they played it and they were so enraptured with their own creation that it didn't clock for them that wasn't gonna work. Uh-oh. Probably should have done this first, whatever. I did see this disappointingly small Mona Lisa. Yeah, there's a line for it. There's a whole ass big room, and they have like little nylon tethers set up for people to wait in line so that they can take pictures in front of the Mona Lisa. It's the only piece of art in the entire Louvre like that. And there are other works of art that are far more interesting and way more ornate and interesting to look at than that. But whatever, who cares? People like it, so okay. I got to walk through Napoleon III's apartments. That was fucking great. Oh, it wasn't encased when I saw it. I don't think. It was just on the wall. Yeah, Joe. The Louvre has some exceptional ass. God bless Greek sculpture. God, there it goes, going left again. There we go. See the fruit face portrait. I did, actually. Yeah, that really caught my eye. Because it was so uncharacteristic. Yeah, I stopped for a bit and looked at that because it was so bizarre. It was like a mixture of... It's like two kinds of still life smashed together. Which is... Like, there's not a whole lot of whimsy in paintings of that era. There's like that one French painter who does all the like all the mimi paintings and stuff, but I think he's French. I can't remember his name. Is it Richelieu? No, not Dali. Hold on, now I gotta look it up. Giuseppe. Is that... Oh, the fruit one. I'm trying to remember... Hold on. There's like the one of the guy going like... There it is. Joseph Ducreux. Ducreux? Joseph Ducreux. He's like the only painter... and he's kind of late for the era I thought he painted in. But yeah, he did some portraits that were a little more quizzical and expressive. And he plans to go to the Impressionist Museum. Actually, yes. I want to go there because I really love Impressionist paintings. There were a couple of other paintings that caught my eye too. Ones of just like common people being dirty and unhappy, which is also uncommon for that time. Oh, look at him running off screen. The Victorian gangsta meme guy, yeah. His work has gotten another pass at the limelight since the internet loves memes. I didn't see any of his work hanging on the wall, or if I did, I didn't recognize it, but... Yeah, it was an interesting trip because I forgot that Europeans consider ground floor 0 for starts, and also you enter the Louvre on -2. So it took me a minute to get my bearings with the map. Also, I had been awake for like 20 hours, and I was high on multiple kinds of antihistamines. So I spent like a good 10 minutes taking wrong turns and pulling weird loops. What the fuck? Why is there an airship buzzing around? Man, this backdrop is sick. Ooh, Thunder Chud, thanks for the sub. We're not quite at the 16-bit goodness yet, though. We got one more Final Fantasy to get through before we enter the 16-bit era. I don't know where the first boss fight is. The Final Fantasy II battle theme has a really great remix in 14. Okay, I got some money. I can buy spells now. Can anyone even... Wait, no. No one can even cast spells. Yeah, the Louvre is pretty nuts. Oh yeah, it's part of the Hildebrand questline, which is coming back! They finally announced it. He's back, baby. Let's see. I had some art director get upset with me at La Brea Art Museum for standing 3 feet from a Picasso painting, which is apparently too close. I was young and he said he was going to throw me out. I simply said no and he just left and never came back. I enjoyed the rest of my time there. Actually, yeah, I got a comment for being too close to a painting as well at the Getty. I kind of gestured towards it and I guess my hand got too close. And one of the directors told me to stay back and I was like, alright. I'm not gonna smudge a painting, but I guess you don't know that, so... Had any baguettes lately? Actually, yes. I had a charcuterie that had some bread with it that I think was just slices of baguette. And at the Louvre, I had a mozzarella and tomato baguette, so it all works out. Fun. It's just there across the lake. Okay, that's where I gotta go. Oh yeah, Thunderchud. I was thinking about getting Triangle Strategy for the flight. I just ended up playing a lot of ActRaiser Remastered, and I picked The World Ends With You Neo back up, which is really good. I kind of got a little inactive with that game, but going back to it, I'm like, damn, this is awesome. So I'm a fan. ActRaiser is really good too. I don't know why I did that. The remake is really good for ActRaiser. They added... Oh, I can run now. I could probably run before, I just didn't hit the button. They added some gameplay mechanics. There's like a tower defense mode now, and the like city simulation layer is a little more interesting. They expanded the levels. The music is top titty. I really like what they did with the graphics too. It's not really just like scaled up pixel art. It's almost like they went back in time and imagined ActRaiser like it was a PC, like a Japanese PC game from like 1994. Like a PC 98 game or something like that. Which is a really cool approach. I think it's a really cool remake. I think it would be awesome if that opened up the opened up possibilities for more like like quintet, more quintet remakes in general, but just more like back catalog remakes of that style. Like, let's take the core of it, reimagine it, maybe build out some of the gameplay aspects. How's Paris? See much yet? I've only been here for about a day, and I went to the Louvre, and that was incredible. Had a really good time there. And yeah, it's been nice. But now I'm playing old-ass video games in a hotel room, tethered to my phone on cellular data, because the hotel Wi-Fi is ass. Just realized I don't know how much battery my Joy-Con has left. I guess I could use the other one. Whatever. Oh, Candlejack, it's fine. Google Fi has a thing where once you hit a certain cap of data, the rest is free. Surprised you can actually run a Joy-Con with this. It wasn't easy. I was trying to think of the most compact way to get a like a good gaming setup that I could travel with. And I was like, well, I'm bringing my Switch. I could just Bluetooth my Joy-Con to my laptop, and I got a little controller right there. But yeah. When you do that, it reads the analog stick as a point-of-view hat switch, and games really, really, really don't like mapping to that. How did he know I was a rebel? Oh shit, he's gonna fuck me up. I think I was supposed to sneak around this guy. Ooh, I was really not supposed to get in a fight with him. Sorry, Vic. I'm leaving you on the ground. Okay, don't talk to that guy. Shit. Oh, he's blocking the inn! Oh, wait, no, I think he's on my side. I love the sprites of them just plastered out on the ground. Just bah! Damn it! It's not looking good. Oh! Uh-oh. Well, that's that then. That's actually very kind. They let me just start from the beginning of the zone transition. Let's do another giveaway. Let's commemorate the occasion with another free video game. Okay, let's see. Got a couple more codes for Final Fantasy VI here. If I have to go by... I'll start ticking off all of the custom characters of Final Fantasy VI. Oops! Nope, don't. There's a 2 on that for some reason. And all of their relative custom commands. Alright. If you want to win a copy of Final Fantasy VI Pixel
I have
Remaster...
to stay here to operate the security gate.
Type out Sword Tech. Which I think was abbreviated in the game, but... Varhol Art! Thank you very much for the cheer. Breadslinger, thank you for the resub, and Thunder Chud, thanks for gifting us up. Got a little splashback off that bottle. Blech. I just realized. Oh no, wait, I unplugged this lamp to be able to power my laptop. I was like, I could turn this lamp on and my lighting would get like 3,000% better. Also, I'm backlit because the light's bouncing off the walls. There's skylights in here. Sword Tech used to be Bushido. Oh, that makes way more sense. Yeah, SWD Tech is what I'm used to. It's funny the like random times they would just decide that this shit is way too foreign for stupid Americans. I can't say that they were wrong, really. I played Final Fantasy VI when I was like... I was a tiny baby. The first time I played 6, aka 3, I just didn't have the emotional maturity to understand what was going on. I just know that I really liked the music, and I liked the fact that it wasn't a platformer. That was my first impression. It was weird. I just kind of fumbled my way through the game until I got to the Vargas fight with Sabin. And I just didn't understand what they wanted me to do with Blitz. I thought you had to put in the inputs when he jumped out and did the little spark. I didn't know that you had to do it when you like hit the button once and then the cursor popped up to Sabin. So I got really frustrated because I just couldn't do that fight. Never got further than that. I was also a stupid baby, so I didn't know what was going on. I do remember staring at the TV in frustration and being so disappointed. But then I remember I rented it again like 4 or 5 years later. Maybe that's too... No, I'm probably remembering incorrectly because I was a child. I think I was like maybe like 5 or 6 when I played it the first time. And then I was like maybe 10 or 11 when I played it the second time. So I came back to it with like more of an adult brain. And I could actually read and process and follow the story. And then also figured out Sabin's tech. Because I had played more video games at that point and had more of a, I guess, more of a critical mind with how to figure out game mechanics. And it just completely blew me away. One of those, like, I had no idea that all of that was under this game that I experienced so superficially the first time around. We'll get there eventually, to that beautiful, beautiful game. Alright, let's draw a winner. Who's got it? Big Bucket Energy. Very nice. And again, Square also loaded me up with some codes for the whole bundle, 1 through 6, which is what I'm tooling around with right now. So shoutouts to Square. Okay, let's move on. Final Fantasy III. This one has the job system for the first time, as I recall. And again, some banger tunes. It's got Onion Knights. I remember 2 being pretty serious about its tone. 3 is a little more whimsical, as I recall. I remember when they first ported this to... I think I played the DS port of this. Or no, wait, I played the mobile port of this quite a bit. But I didn't end up finishing it for some reason. I think it's because I would swap phones, and then the save wouldn't carry over properly or something. This is the one where you level up by using weapons. Now, I think that was 2, but I could be wrong. Also, I can make the window just a teensy bit bigger. Look, they're all Onion Knights. Look at how ridiculously... Oop. Look at how ridiculously similar all these characters look. I thought Agamemnon had 2 M's in it, but whatever. We'll go with this. Name one Remy? Why? But okay. You gonna be the blue and yellow one? Okay. We'll swap these. Oh, that's the color of Sweden? You're right! That makes sense. Didn't get to a boss fight in Final Fantasy II. Last. The boss theme you're thinking of was from 4? Oh yeah, you're right. It is from 4. It's okay. We didn't miss anything then. It was the normal battle theme that I was thinking of, which we heard anyway. So yeah, I got completely confused. Luckily, getting to a boss fight in 4 is pretty easy. I feel like 4 is the first game that really sized up what Final Fantasy settled into, which is a far more linear, far more story-driven kind of experience. 3 and 2 and 1, well, I guess 1 is vaguely linear, but 2 and 3 are, I feel like, a lot more open. They just kind of dump you into an open world and you gotta figure out where to go. Much more Dragon Quest-y. But then 4 kind of locks it down. There's really only one place you can go at any given time, and you're just there to sort of experience the story cutscene by cutscene. Also, the dialogue boxes aren't labeled. I guess because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's talking. Yeah, one had the job system, but you couldn't swap jobs. You could level them up. Like the jobs could evolve, which was pretty sick. It was cool seeing your character sprites change. There's that motif again. Da 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 da. They even look like stupid babies with their tiny little feet. And I guess they all have run. That's kind of nice. That is a fun dissolve animation, I have to admit. It is fun to hear the reorchestrations leaning a little heavier on a grungier guitar sound. I don't remember actually hearing that until 6, when the battle theme had just like a really grungy guitar in it, which was rad. I can't wait to hear the reorchestrated music in 6. I didn't have a lot of faith, to be honest, in the soundtracks, but I heard a little sample of 6's new soundtrack, and it was all right. It was pretty good. I remember the Game Boy Advance soundtrack not being as good as the original Super Nintendo. DS port of 3, the last job you'd get at the end was Onion Knight. I thought Onion Knight was how everyone started. I thought everyone was an Onion Knight. Chronologist, thanks for the Prime. Didn't open the chest. Did I not? You still have that, like... It's that, like, funk root 7th bass lick. That was really strong in Final Fantasy I's battle theme. I didn't open the chest. What's wrong with me? Bink. There we go. Yeah, see, everyone's an Onion Knight. You get more as you go. Man, I really love that, like, drum roll. That really crunchy 8-bit synth in there. I just want to hear the music loop. Oh, I see. 3DS had new characters that started with different jobs. It was the inverse beginning for the DS port. Gotcha. Okay. Then we got Brass. Final Fantasy VI's battle theme is unhinged. It's so proggy. It's like everything all smashed into one song. Uematsu was really losing his mind in the best way. 7 has some tracks like that. And it's like, it's sci-fi setting, I think, and they kind of made a lot of those musical trappings make a lot more sense, but 6's music is still just out of this world. And I guess 6 still has strong, like, technological undertones, but it's more steampunk than cyberpunk. Feeling more rock in 7? Some tracks were pretty rocky. 7's soundtrack is outstandingly eclectic. There's some reggae in there, there's some very melancholy, like, down-tempo music. Throwing back to Earthbound, that's one of the things as a kid that really resonated with me about that game, is just how all over the place the soundtrack is. That's probably the first time I heard reggae, was the store theme in Earthbound. And then there's some pretty hard reggae tracks in 7 too. The 7 Remake soundtrack is also bananas. You're the doctor of the party? Gotta solve the drink a revitalizing sip of fresh water? Yeah, it's a little weird that in, like, the second basement of a cave is a fresh wellspring of water, but whatever. Something tells me if you drink that in real life, your like, guts would explode. Oh, these are random, Agamemnon. Random encounters is a hallmark of the Final Fantasy series, or at least it was until 11, I guess? Because 12 didn't have randoms. 13 didn't. 14 doesn't. 15 doesn't. Yeah, crazy. I wonder if 16's gonna bring it back. I don't know. People seem to have all agreed that random encounters is something we can leave in the past. Oh, you want a remake of 9? It's apparently happening. It was like a part of an NVIDIA leak, right? Although, I guess it's hard for me to believe that they would give 9 the same treatment they gave 7. I feel like 9 would get more of a Chrono Cross treatment, which is AI up-res backgrounds, maybe reorchestrated soundtrack. Yeah, the Moguri mod is the true remake. We don't have to wait for Square to make it. But I haven't played that yet. I want to. It looks so good. Nothing is getting the 7 remake treatment. Yeah. The only reason that 7 got the remake treatment it did is because they knew they could convert it into a franchise, which is what they did. That's why they have The Last Soldier. They're going to make other games off of it. It's basically like a new Final Fantasy franchise based off of the nostalgia from the past. It's what they wanted to do with 13, which they kind of did, but nobody liked 13, so it didn't really work out that well. I mean, some people did. I liked it. Yeah, that's true, Captain. They already did that with 7 too, with Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus and the movies and stuff. Yeah. Time for a crystal. Hey, what's up, Javi? Crystals. Any tips for a guy about to clock in and deal with Karen's yelling at him all day? Joy, that's tough. And here's the overture again. What I ended up doing when I worked retail, I don't know if it's healthy, but I definitely ended up compartmentalizing. So I definitely had a mode I would click into when somebody started being aggro with me, where it's just like, boom, like my humanity would shut off, and I would robotically deal with them. And what I realized later in life is that I started doing that in my personal relationships too, which caused some issues. I think it's better than being heated, like it was better than yelling, but definitely like had some partners that were like, you get way too cold and clinical whenever we have any disagreement. And it wasn't until a few years ago that I realized it was because of that. So really, it's kind of trauma conditioning. But my advice would be to do that, develop that ability, but also realize that you've done it, or realize that you are doing it, because it took me a while. Also, one thing that I thought about is that dealing with customers can seem antagonistic, but if you're not getting paid enough to give a shit, you don't need to give a shit. It's not your money. And if somebody wants something out of you, and it's within your power to give it to them, why not? You know? If somebody's trying to game the system, maybe consider what system they're trying to game. Like, you don't stand to gain anything by pushing back on somebody who's trying to get a freebie, because it's not coming out of your paycheck. I guess it depends. It depends what the setup is. It depends who your manager is. It depends if you trust them, if you like where you work and the team you work on. But your company will throw you in the trash the second that you don't help them out. So consider that the company you work for isn't your friend either. And if you can get through your workday and get your paycheck with less negativity in your life, and you can do that just by passing through a couple of rebates or refunds or whatever, then just do it, man. I would kind of try to do things the quote-unquote right way. And then, I don't know why, because it's not like fucking Best Buy or GameStop or any of the retail places I worked for ever had my back for anything, so why should I have theirs? you know? Yeah. Unions are rad. So if you're on a union, that's something else to think about too, but I would say maybe embrace the nihilism of your job a little bit. It can be fun if you don't care. Oh yeah, this world theme is rad. Did this make it into 14? I know the Crystal Tower theme did. It's everywhere, for obvious reasons. I remember hearing this a lot in this game because I got lost. I get lost in 3 a lot. I remember this is one of those RPGs where they don't tell you where to go or what to do. Look at that! Oh yeah, of course, there it is. Yeah, it's played a lot in Shadowbringers. It's even in the Shadowbringers trailer. And I've watched that a lot, because it's so hype. That might be my favorite piece of, like, associated video game media. Or of, like, promo media, is the Shadowbringers trailer. Actually, wait, Captain needs to be the White Mage. Thanks, man. I've been at this place for 90 days. It's my first quote-unquote real job, where there are CEOs and such. It's a very divisive environment. I'm not used to it. Ah! Okay, yes. If it's your first job at a company, then, yeah. Give them what they pay you for, would be my advice. You don't have to be antagonistic. You don't have to, like, treat the company you work for as your enemy, but don't do them any favors, because they won't return them. That would be my advice. So, if you can make your relationship with the people who call in a little more harmonious, by cutting them a deal or slipping them a freebie on the company dime, do it. Because it's not like any of that's going to come back into your paycheck. That's really cool that they made that little warbly part like a pizzicato string noise, because it always kind of felt like just a synth roll originally. But I like the reverb on the string hits. Look like you're in the back of a church somewhere. It does look like that, doesn't it? It's here. Let me give you a bit of a better view. Because yeah, it's like the steeple and everything, but there's a skylight. Look, there's beds, there's luggage, there's windows. But yeah, the rock wall does look very much like a church, doesn't it? This is the hotel room. It's a classic European building, so there was room for one person in the elevator. I had to, like, walk in with my backpack on, and I could, like, just barely rotate around to face the door. Thin, very steep staircases, the whole works. By gum! What you doing in Paris? I am here tagging along with Steph, who's here on a work trip, which means I get to enjoy the benefits of her hotel room. I just had to keep an eye on flights until I could find some cheap flights. Yeah. There's a message out there for everyone. Get you a partner who goes on work trips, and you can enjoy the luxury of free hotel stays. Yeah, I'm an innkeeper. Welcome, traveler. You must be weary. You can have a nice warm bed for 15 gold pieces. Ah, Chum, thanks for the resub. Ooh, and the 2 years of subs. Yeah, I am on European time now. I think it's GMT +1. Is it minus? I had to manually set this. Yeah, I'm +1. It's a mocha tree. Thank you for the prime. Ah, like how they like skitter onto screen. You're in the future compared to your normal time zone. Yep, 9 hours in the future. Which is gonna make recording inside games a real pain in the ass, but hey, if I didn't want it to be a pain in the ass, I could have stayed home. Well, yeah, that's like it's 3 hours away from being the most difficult jet lag you can possibly deal with, I guess. So that's cool. Ooh, Freakzor, thank you for the resub. Greetings from Sweden. Well, greetings to you from France. Nunchaku. Oh, Kiranimo, I'm in Paris because Steph is here on a work event. Red Bull is throwing a cyberpunk event at the Moulin Rouge. Yes, really. So Steph is here to attend that and sort of scout it out and see if they want to do similar events for the US region. And I got to tag along. Just had to pay my flight. And, you know, buy food and stuff while I'm here. Yeah, Chum, we'll see. I can kind of feel it right now. The jet lag, but the good news is I just have to take the tiny European elevator down to the first floor, and there's free coffee there, so bad week to choose to travel to the EU. Yeah, let me tell you, I've certainly been keeping my eye on things. I mean, it's not like if it really did look like it was gonna break out into full shits, we probably wouldn't have come over, but yeah, it seems unlikely that within the breadth of our stay here, things are gonna spill over into Western Europe. Not to you know, what's the word? Not to minimize the severity of what's going on. Not at all. But it certainly seems like Russia does not have the unstoppable war machine that Putin seems to think it is. Which is great. How's the European coffee compared to your normal coffee? Well, my coffee game has leveled up quite a bit in recent months. I have an espresso machine at home now, so I'm making some pretty baller ass coffee myself. I would say compared to American places, it's much better, but I've kind of raised my standards to what I'm drinking here. But like, it's miles better than like American Drip, for sure. American Drip coffee is trash. The only good American Drip coffee is the, oh, what is it from Twin Peaks? The 48-hour blend from like a diner. There's some places in SoCal where I can get some real gut rot coffee. And And I still like that stuff, but it's probably a lot more expensive than in the US. Not really. This is what Stranger of Paradise is interpreting? Not technically, no. That was Final Fantasy 1, and I'm on 3 right now. Even though my category still says Final Fantasy, I just set it to that because I'm playing all the older ones. See, look at how wacky and goofy this is already. NPCs are acting weird. It's got whimsical music. But yes, certainly the threat of nuclear retaliation is something the entire world has to fear. But as far as I'm concerned, like, nowhere on the planet is safe, really, from that, if it gets to that. So... I like that the ghosts turn to the side, and then they just become little sticks. So yeah, the story-wise and just like thematically, this game feels way more Dragon Quest-y. The fact that the first thing you do is find a village of cursed people who are all ghosts. There's like kind of quizzical music. Should come to the south of France. It's great here. If I could go anywhere I wanted, sure. Just here for an event, and also for Disney because Steph loves Disney. Yeah, chum. The only places that would be safe are kind of, I guess, low population areas. But I live in LA. There's military bases there. And if the goal is to attack civilian populations, that's also a pretty high target, I'd guess. So, definitely not fun things to think about, but certainly things that have been on my mind. Shouldn't be here now. I'm getting my ass kicked. That's fine. Bam. That's fine, I just wanted to get a taste. Just wanted to get a little flavor. Oh, autosaves? Damn. Alright, let's do another giveaway. Let's do another giveaway. Then I'll move on up to 4. 4 is when it starts taking off. I don't know where I've put everything. Alright. Okay. If you want to win a copy of Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, type DANCE into chat. Sako, thank you for the Prime. Is there much of a difference between Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3? I'd say so, yeah. They're all pretty different thematically and mechanically. I mean, on a high enough view, they're all 8-bit turn-based JRPGs. So, from that level alone, they're going to have a lot in common. But if you get into the weeds, they all have some different stuff going on. The differences are probably a little harder to appreciate than like some of the later games. Ones that have more like fully formed stories, more complete casts of characters. Yeah, I guess between 1 and 3, yeah, you're right about that. I don't know. 3 is just kind of a more filled out version of 1, I guess. It's got more whimsy, it's got more dialogue. It's better about signposting you where to go, sort of. I remember getting big time lost in the middle to late stages of the game, where they give you the ship and it's just like, go figure it out. I've learned more about Final Fantasy in this stream than throughout the rest of my life. I'm glad to hear that. If you want extended rambles about any kind of video game franchise, here's the place to be. Although I have to admit, I've been humbled. I found some people on Twitch that are even bigger walking encyclopedias of games than I. Although, I guess for those people that I can think of, they're kind of like highly specialized in particular genres or eras of games. Whereas I play pretty much everything. Damn, I've been wearing so many earbuds that my ears are sore. Between like 12 hours on a plane. Even the backs of my ears were getting sore because of all the masks I've been wearing. I'm big on any game that isn't a sports game. It's been a while since I've enjoyed a sports game that isn't like a Mario sports game or something like that. I used to play Madden. I used to play NHL. I used to play FIFA. But they went down a certain path that just wasn't really for me. Ooh, Private Futter Whacking. Thank you very much for gifting 10 subs. None of those... There they go. I knew they'd show up eventually. Alright, let's draw a winner. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win this free video game? Nomad! Nomad the Kid. Congratulations. You'll be getting a Twitch Whisper with your code shortly. Since I'm playing on the same machine that I'm streaming from now, I can actually hear all of my alerts. You say you were in Paris, yet I don't hear constant accordion music wafting through the air. Curious. You knew Ergo Split, and that's the first thing I said when I got off the plane. I was like, I don't hear any accordions. I haven't seen a single accordion. I saw a few berets at the Louvre. I haven't seen a single mime. Figure that one out. What's that all about? And I've only seen, like, one person smoking a cigarette. So, yeah, Paris is kind of defying the odds. No one's been, uncharacteristically rude to me either. I've even had to, like, just kind of shrug at somebody speaking French. Like, one of the Uber drivers I had taking us to the Louvre, like, kind of vaguely told me that there was a marathon happening downtown and that he was going to drop us off a little ways away, and we managed to communicate just fine, and he was real chill about it. So yeah, no beret and no like black and white shirt with a red kerchief fellas walking around. Yeah, it's been nice. Now granted, I've been going to touristy spots, so I can only imagine that they're a little more ready for dumbass Americans walking in, but... Anyway, congrats. Alright, I think I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I'm gonna get up and stretch and get another cup of coffee. So I guess I'll be back. I can already feel my mind going a little loopy. Yeah, I think it's jet lag o'clock. But that's fine. It just means we'll have more fun streaming. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna re-up my caffeine, which means I get to take the tiny European elevator down. It also wobbles. The second I step in it, it sinks. It goes whoomph, like it drops. Like I want to say a half inch. Hold on, let me convert that to imperial. Wait, that is imperial. Let me convert it to metric. 50 millimeters? I don't know. I have no idea if that's even remotely. 12 millimeters. Okay, there we go. It's a noticeable sink. It catches it. 3 cubits. Half a hogshead. It's weird. I can't remember why, but I remember reading hogshead as a unit of measurement. So I always in my head pronounced it hogsheed, because that's what it looks like. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, which means y'all get to listen to more banging video game tunes, and I'll be right back. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Actually, since there might be new people here, let's take a look outside again, huh? Let's do that. Now I'm gonna have to unplug things. It's gonna get messy. Okay, other mic enabled. Yeah, we're gonna get Paris cam. Ooh. No, sorry. I had to fold it under. Every time I turn away, I'm convinced it's breaking because I'm not looking at it, but I'll take it on faith. I think next time I will try to bring a webcam and a USB extension cable so that I can just set up an external camera. That's the whole point. It's funny, like Bruce, I remember the temptation is always to set up with like an outside view in the background. But it turns out that's the absolute worst thing to do from a cinematographical standpoint. Whatever. Okay, back on the good mic. This reminds me of when I'm trying to Skype with my dad. I would just like shaky cam. Yeah. This stream has been a lot of boomer cinematography. That's for sure. Okay, let's get back to video games. That's enough of outside. Also, it was nice just to get a little brisk outside Parisian air. Yeah, I can feel the jet lag hitting. It's awesome. But you know what solves jet lag? Cozy JRPGs. Actually, that's not true. I've found that JRPGs are like the kind of an interesting book of video games. They're very sleep-inducing, even if I really like them. I've actually been playing another Eden on my phone, which is basically another Chrono Cross, or Chrono Trigger, actually. I wouldn't pitch it as that because people have a strange and intense fondness for Chrono Trigger, but it is, for all intents and purposes, another Chrono game. Even down to like, there's an Isla character, there's a frog character, you traipse around timelines and stuff. Anyway, that game knocks me the fuck out. I play that at night to put myself to sleep, and it's delightful. And I like it, but it puts me to sleep. I remember falling asleep with a controller in my hand playing Final Fantasy IX. And that sucks because it was a day I had off of school, and I remember getting so mad at myself because I was like, I can't waste this. I have all day to play Final Fantasy IX, my favorite, and I'm really excited. And then just there's something about the rhythmic like turn-based battle system, the repetitive but pleasing music. All right, we're entering prime time for both my jet lag and the Final Fantasy series. Somebody asked if I'm playing a little bit of all of them. That's sort of what I'm doing. I got gifted a code for the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster bundle, which is 1 through 6. And yeah, I've been tinkering around just playing through them all. I'm gonna spend a little more time with 4, 5, and 6. 6 especially. 6 is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know if I can divorce that from when I played it and the context I played it in. It certainly hit me with an emotional weight that no other game really had at that time. I feel like my experience with 6 is what most people experienced with 7. And I think similar things with Earthbound, actually. How long are you going to be in Paris? I'm going to be in the city for 2 more days. And then I'm going to be in Disneyland Paris for 2 days. Because Steph loves Disneyland, so that's what we're doing. Alright, and I have a few more codes to give away for the 6 remaster. And then I have also a few codes to give away for the entire bundle. For 1 through 6, so there's free stuff, but only if you keep watching. Oui. So this is... It's weird. The machine that makes a cappuccino also fires a bunch of cocoa into it. So it's a cafe mocha, but it's not marked that. Maybe the button is mislabeled. Disneyland Paris is pretty sweet. If it's still there, the Indiana Jones ride is sweet. Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, we definitely want to do all the rides. Steph is really excited for Haunted Manor because she loves Haunted Mansion, and this apparently in this park is one of, it's the only one like this, where it's like an old west town instead of a New Orleans style haunted house. So I'm excited for that. Apparently Space Mountain is pretty tits in Disneyland Paris. I've been told by a lot of people that Hollywood Studios is a trash heap. I didn't even like Hollywood Studios in Disney World, and apparently this one is even worse, so cool. Also, yes, Shriver, you're correct. Haunted Mansion is that Eddie Murphy movie. It was a ride before it was a movie, similar to how Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride before it was a movie. They've done that with a lot. Country Bears was also a ride, but I mean, Disney does that a lot. They haven't made a movie out of Space Mountain, which is kind of odd. But I think they've done pretty much every other ride. Yeah, Tomorrowland. What a weird movie that was. Jeez. Brad Bird couldn't... It's always weird when somebody makes a movie where a character turns to the camera and starts lecturing the audience about what the movie's about. Crazy. Yeah, Jungle Cruise? That was a fun movie. I actually really liked that. It almost seemed like it was beat for beat. Maybe even a little too similar to 99 Mummy? Which is a weird comparison to make, but it was fun. I liked it. Maybe it was more beat for beat similar to Pirates. I don't know. It was a pretty familiar film, but it was still really, really fun. Yeah, it was very similar to Pirates. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Which, you can't blame them. That movie spawned a whole franchise. Alright, Final Fantasy IV. This is the real shit. This is when it's about acting and drama and cutscenes and wacky battle mechanics. This is when they really really started leaning into the ATB. No, wait, this is the advent of the ATB system, Active Time Battle. We have 16 bits now, so we can make it pseudo real time. And they went pretty banana pants, making custom fights around the ATB system with bosses and stuff. Oh, the Rock and Roller Coaster? Is that what you guys are talking about? Uh-oh, too many graphics? What's going on here? Oh, we're good. Oh boy, that's probably doing a number on my shitty bitrate. I could probably put the bitrate higher, but I'm on mobile data, so I have to be a little careful. The first Dragoon. I think Kain is the first Final Fantasy edgelord. A lot of firsts in this game. Maybe Garland. Oh, Naraic. It's actually on mobile data is not so bad, but with Google Fi, it's not the worst. Kane's the Dragoon. Gosh, you're awfully contrarian today, Captain. Uh-oh. And just as I said that, the data completely died. Shit. Completely died. Oh, oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Mobile data heard me talking shit. I was praising it. Yeah, I jinxed it. Like, the game basically opens with you committing a war crime, which is pretty baller. Oh, Vic, look at that. Oh, no worries. Worked literally all last week. Today's my only day off this week. Not feeling too hot. No, it's cool. No sweat. Got scripted battles? Look at these sweet cutscenes. I think this is... They also have dialogue during combat in 4. I can't remember if that happened in other Final Fantasies before this. I think if somebody wanted to get into the series, 4 might be the earliest game I would comfortably recommend. It's got the structure, it's got the characterization, it's got the sort of more linear narrative. Oh, the 3DS remake had a mechanic where you pause the game, you get insight from the characters about the next course of action. That's kind of cool. They actually added dialogue and stuff. Also, good afternoon. Welcome to Europe. It's good to be here. But it is pretty, neat, especially for this era, to open with the protagonist doing something bad. And that's how they key up the story, is that you do something pretty awful to start the story off. And the character themselves have reservations about it, but it's always an interesting narrative device in an ostensibly interactive medium to make the player do a bad thing and then make them feel bad about it. We talking about The Last of Us 2? Ugh. The problem is, The Last of Us 2 just has you do bad things nonstop and then offers zero commentary or payoff for it. Maybe it does. Some people seem to think it did, but I guess I had very little motivation to seek out any of those discussions. It's not like games owe that. You know, I don't think every game has to have a moralistic center. But if you're gonna make me watch human misery, I would like for there to be some value to it. Did via other NPCs' reactions to your actions. I guess that's... yeah. I definitely wished that the game was about other characters. The entirety I was playing. I mean, I didn't mind playing as Abby. Abby is the protagonist of that game. Not in the literary sense, just in the actual character you'd rather be. Which I get it. That's the pinky out grand twist. But they already did that in the first game. I don't know. I'm just gonna rehash all of my grumbles. I don't need to do that again. I would even be a little more forgiving of it if they didn't make Ellie the last chapter in the game. I feel like that game would have been a much more interesting and complete package if the game concluded with Abby and Ellie just fucked off. Which is what she did. She just fucked off. Which I also had no respect for. It's just a very cowardly, non-conclusive ending. Which, and again, I don't mind inconclusive endings, but the rest of the game was so explicit about everything. And it just right at the end was like, but who knows what happens next? Sure. Any number of human atrocities could have happened off camera and left it to the audience's imagination. But for the actual payoff for the entire story, we're just going to let that end on an ellipsis. Just so there could be a part 3, just so you can rely on the ambiguity in the player's mind for what the value of the story is. Cowardice. It's brave in all the most superficial ways. Anyway, I'm doing it. I tried not to. I took that ending to mean she was going to try and rebuild her life. See, the game allows you to think that, but there's no reason to believe it. There's nothing in the game that implies that she has that capacity. She tried to rebuild her life. There was a whole section in the game showing that she couldn't do it. Because she PTSD'd when a broom fell over. And so she geared up to go to war and beat the shit out of... like, the game itself told you that she couldn't do that. So instead of actually showing her going out into the woods and blowing her brains out, they just let you imagine that there was a good ending that they didn't show. Which is, again, cowardly. The game itself told you that she couldn't do it. But then they didn't show her not doing it. Or they did, but... Anyway. I'm doing it again. I also like how Kane has that, like... that moody, can I save him, shonen, rival energy. He's got that Sasuke energy. That, Bakugo energy. Rosa can fix him. Rosa can fix anybody. Maybe the better way to end it would be to let her get her revenge and have nothing to show for it. I think that would have been a more thematically consistent ending, sure. If she killed Abby, and then just kind of like, if the game ended with her, like, over Abby's dead body, crying, and then go to credits, okay. At least you said something. You showed the cycle and how terrible it is. Did do that, though. I go off on the Cyberpunk story whenever it comes up like you do with Last of Us 2. I still think Cyberpunk had a lot more to say, though. But, depending on the ending you got, I can see why you'd be frustrated by the lack of conclusiveness. I also think, with the themes that Cyberpunk deals with, an ending like that is a lot more justified, I think. But I'm a cyber simp. Cyberpunk's main story was okay. Every named character's side story was mint. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Papa Baloo, I don't know what they're gonna do with the expansions. Is V gonna be the character? Who knows? That'll be weird if they try to pick up V's story. Also, grousing. You can't really... It's not really fair to let Cyberpunk inherit value from other Cyberpunk narratives, but to me, something about it being disquieting and vaguely inconclusive kind of matches the transhumanist tones of the setting, and also is in a long legacy of disquieting and inconclusive Cyberpunk stories like Blade Runner, you know? They just kind of go off, and you don't know. You don't know what happens to them. You don't know what life they have left, which is kind of the point of the story, and also kind of the point of Cyberpunk. The driving question behind it is, what do you do with the time you have? Oh, Daniel, you can move diagonally in the Pixel remasters. You could not in the original. Oh yeah, they tease a big heist on a space station. That would be a cool expansion, but that only happens in one of the endings, I think. I just wish Jackie wasn't such a throwaway character. Yeah, they spoiled his death in the trailers. They sure did. On an emotional level, it hurts, but I think I kind of respect Jackie dying because everyone died. It's a way of sort of reinforcing that death is real in the universe and nobody has plot armor. Oh yeah, Jakes, there's a space station in Cyberpunk. It's bad. It's bad times. There's some lore about it. The space station in Cyberpunk is essentially Bioshock Infinite. People who are poor basically go into indentured servitude in space, and they basically are slave labor. So, I don't remember if there has been a revolt, but basically there's like super rich assholes living on a space station, because they can actually pay their way through. And then, yeah, a whole underclass of people, because also there are no laws in space. Elon Musk's bright future of Martian slaves is in the Cyberpunk universe. You steal a painting that fell from the space station. I don't remember that. Oh, the fact that he throws up constant death flags kinds of ruins it. Yeah. I guess there's that conversation at the afterlife when he talks about getting a drink named after him. Yeah, it's something I didn't really think about the first time I played it. Cyberpunk, that is, but it is kind of interesting that the world is really consistent with its rules and its lethality, because V dies twice, at least, in the story. It's only the relic that keeps him or her alive. Which just goes to show you can't really fuck around in Cyberpunk universe without catching a bullet. Unless you are a legend. What's up, Professor Bong? God, that's a great name. Oh, remember after the trailer had spoiled his death, a lot of people assumed it was a possible outcome, not a guaranteed one? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Given that people were led to believe that the narrative would be a lot more variable than it ended up being. How could I cross the man who raised Cain and me like his very own? The chivalrous knight whom I've adored and admired since childhood. I will not betray him, I can't. So yeah, this is pretty peak, like, anime storytelling, where characters in an empty room talk out loud to themselves to tell you all the story you need to know. This is very theatrical. Yes, it is a melodrama. It took me a while to catch on to that. For a while, I didn't like it because of that, because it was so like, why is every character just saying what they think out loud? This is just garbage writing. But once I caught the game's style, that it is theater, I think it actually, I think there was some interview with Hironobu Sakaguchi who was talking about these games like, this is theater. You're looking at a stage and the players, and you're hearing their dialogue. And those are the only tools we really have to tell you about these characters. You can't see their faces. You can't read their acting. Now that changed, obviously. The technology enabled it. More nuanced performances, voice acting, stuff like that. The linear story was not what I expected, but I've bitched enough about this, so I should stop. Yeah. I wish... It's not like Witcher 3 had a variable story, really. But they could have done themselves a lot of favors by being a little more explicit about what they meant. There is actually a ton of variation in the dialogue. The plot points play out largely the same, but you get a lot of different flavor about the characters based on the dialogue options you choose and what you do and in what order. But it's not the kind of variability that's really easy to mentally track, and it's not the kind of variability that tells you out loud, this is different. It's just like one or two lines that play a different way, that imply something else about a character's beliefs or their state of mind. Like, playing through the first act 2 or 3 times, I managed to get a couple of different lines out of T-Bug that were really interesting. I would like to know more about T-Bug, but there's not a whole lot more to know now. Maybe they can do a T-Bug expansion in the past. I was gonna go play through all 3 Witchers for the first time, but after I'm done with Elden Ring, I'm not sure I want to play another open world game for a while. Witcher 1 and 2, well... Witcher 1 and 2 are kind of like open area games, but I would also not recommend playing Witcher 1 unless you're okay with the Eurojank. Yeah, Witcher 1 is weird and not very comfortable to play. I mean, it started out as a Neverwinter Nights mod, and it kind of feels like it. I mean, it's a miraculous game for what it is and how it was made, because CD Projekt was just a publisher and a localizer. That's what they did. So they were like, we want to make a full game out of this like cool Polish story. We want to make a full, whole-ass, like, action RPG. And they did it. Like, they shot so high for their first game. They didn't need to do it. I mean, so much of what CD Projekt... Like, this is basically their company motto. Shooting way too high and falling short. But it's the ambition that I've always loved. Witcher 1 is a very ambitious game. All their games are really ambitious, but... But, yeah. Maybe play Witcher 1 for like 2 or 3 hours, just to get a feel for how far they... Like, them from Witcher 1 to 2 is incredible. They learned so much and modernized so quickly. And then Witcher... Oh, another overture screen? See? Remember the thing from Final Fantasy 1? It's back. And so the Dark Knight Cecil was stripped of his command as captain of the Red Wings. He and the Master Dragoon Kane head for the Foggy Valley and the Village of Mist. Jake's Bat Games, thank you for the Prime. Play till you get the new trading card of the Witch in the cave and then drop it. Yeah, it's... For all of the... I don't want to say hit pieces, but certainly it was easy to dunk on CD Projekt for a long time, and still is to a degree. I'm kind of surprised nobody dug back in time and talked about how really problematic that was from Witcher 1. The fact that you bang chicks and collect them as trading cards. That bugged me when I played it the first time, even in the, like, aughts, when games were still a little creepily doodly. I just thought it was creepy that you tokenize women that hard. But whatever. It was in the ancient past. Did they ever do this again? What, the overture screen? I think there's literary parallels, but I don't think there's a still image and scrolling text. Oh yeah, this music. Script Scrape? Thank you for the sub. Oh yeah, Skull Robot. 15? With the camera pan and the logo hit? That was probably as close as it's gotten in modern Final Fantasies. Which one are we on? 4. To go to Mist. Beat up some people, slay a dragon. So much brass. There's that motif again. Love it. Darkness. But the darkness hurts him? It's so thematically consistent, you see. These music reorchestrations are on point. I do like that really long with that horn blast at the beginning. FBM Streams, thanks for the sub. I need to listen to the victory fanfare. Listen to a loop of that too. Is this game in mobile? Yes, it is available via Android and iOS. All the Pixel remasters are. Which is probably the platform that suits these a little better than Steam, which is how I'm playing it. Ah, this music. Even the music's kind of telling you that this is a kind of a big, emotionally charged, overwrought melodrama. It's just so weird. I just didn't pick up on any of these cues. I think it's because I played 6 first, and that's the tone that I was hoping for. And it's not 6. It's very much not 6. Does this have an easy mode for players that have played it first, just want to re-enjoy without it taking forever? That's a good question. It does have, I mean, battles are sped way up. The game has run, so you can move quickly. 4 specifically has come in a few different difficulties, but there doesn't seem to be a specific option for that. Not that I can see. But it's got quick save. So if you played it on mobile, with quick save, I feel like these games would be pretty easy to get through. I'm glad you finally bought your French chalet. Yeah? You like it? It's pretty good, right? Turns out streaming is extremely lucrative. Brother, thank you for the Prime. What's a game I can start without needing to set aside 90 minutes is a question I'm asking myself more and more. Yeah. Especially with, like... God. With your standard fare, like, open worlds, thinking about even playing Horizon, I stream in blocks of time, and still, something like Horizon feels like such an investment. I don't know. I feel like a game like this can be very pick up and put down. because 4 at least is pretty large, pretty linear. I think the worst part is just like forgetting where you are in the story and what you need to do next. So that might require some fumbling, of like moving backwards a little bit, going into a town and talking to NPCs until one tells you where to go. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. My friend is on vacation. Last night she went to an upscale restaurant where they cut the steak at her table, but they did all the cutting with a full-size katana, and the waiter wore a kimono while doing it, and for some reason that restaurant is in the Caribbean. That rules. That is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Oh, Daniel, jeez. I want to talk about getting lost in a game. I spent so much time wandering around in Golden Sun having no idea, which was novel. Basically, no games were willing to do that at that time when Golden Sun came out. It was kind of the last of an old school JRPG style. I just want to hear the music. There's that funky bass. It's still in there.
Did you see something move?
Private. Thank you for the cheer. You gonna do another playthrough Cyberpunk with the new update? Yeah, I already started one actually. And yeah, goal is the secret ending. I started a Revolver Ocelot build. I want to do reflective shots. I want to run and slide in slow motion, and while I'm sliding, bank a shot around a corner and headshot somebody. That's my goal. I want that experience. I also really like the fact that CD Projekt didn't detail everything they added in the patch notes. It seems that they've added some like quest content somewhere in the game, so I'm kind of excited to just discover that organically. I may not, but tech revolvers are normal ones. Tech ones are the ones that can bounce, right? It's also the same. It's the same skill tree, right? Uh-oh. There's a treasure chest I didn't open. Doing a new playthrough for the new texts? I am. I never properly romanced Pan Am. That's a violin? Here comes the funk. Ah, I love how they made that, like, that little wobble right there really aggressive on the violin. It's so playful and so aggressive. Oh wait, they're on defend. Whatever, that works, fuck it. They're only doing 1 damage. I want to keep listening to this song. It's moving through so many styles so quickly. This is when Uematsu started losing his mind. so good. Also, the first boss is kind of showing you how the ATB system can be a little complicated. You can queue up attacks that happen after the enemy has their turn. Trying to tell you, maybe you should bank up a turn. Maybe you should just not do stuff as soon as you can. It's really cool. This is when a little bit of complexity starts to seep into the Final Fantasy combat system. Oh, Joe. Just wait until 6. 6's soundtrack is even more unhinged. Oh, Daniel? Yeah. It's... The whole, like, let's ask Lawrence a question and then immediately cut off whatever he says bit was funny the first couple of times, but it became a gag? It became a running bit. And then it was just like, the comedy is shitting on Lawrence. It's just like, God, can't we do... And then the audience picked up on that, so they would all just fucking shit on me too. So, I got it for the sake of comedy, but it just became like... It became a thing. And it started to seep off camera too. I don't know. After a while, I just stopped talking. Because everybody ignored me. Boom the fuck out of people on the comments show. Yeah, that was kind of the only time that editing didn't take a shit on me. I gotta get that treasure chest though. As an over-explainer, I completely understand. Yeah, that's one thing I have learned about myself, is I overshare. I'm trying to think of how to say this. My mind is getting a little fuzzy right now because I'm in deep jet lag o'clock right now. But there's a variety of behaviors that I've identified in myself that are not exactly pro-social. As time goes on, I get better at finding those and manually correcting them. It's just... I don't know if everyone does that. It seems like most people just kind of instinctively know how to socialize, but it's something I had to very explicitly practice and drill in myself. And the oversharing, over-talking, over-explaining part is one of those things that I've only in the last few years identified and learned to correct. Oh, I wouldn't say you overshare, more you just follow threads way deeper than is typical. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's amusing. Yeah, that's true. I would be confused because certain people, would react very negatively to me just talking, just conversationally talking. Asking questions, talking about myself or my thoughts about things. I didn't think I was taking more time than I needed, but maybe I was. I don't know. Iron Snake, thank you for the Prime. Oops. I guess what's crazy to me is I'll see other people do far more antisocial things, or actively antagonistic things, and people just brush it off. But I just talk a little too long about something that people don't care about, and then the reaction just seems way more severe. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've even talked about it with other people, and they're like, yeah, I don't... It's like some people just react very negatively to the way that I communicate. So, I guess what I've grown to understand, and this is part of the oversharing thing, is that I always viewed it as a courtesy to the people around me that I would be very clear about my state of mind, not in a negative way. Just like, I want everyone to know what's going on with me. I don't want anyone to have to wonder. Oh, hold on a minute. My therapist says it's because I was never heard or listened to as a child. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a desire to have people understand me. Because, yeah, I didn't grow up in a communicating household, that's for sure. We killed that lady, chat. Oh, yes, we did. Yeah, we killed her mom's dragon and also set fire to her entire city. Oops. Didn't know we were committing a war crime. Again. I find the same stuff for me. It made more sense when I got diagnosed ASD. What does ASD stand for? I've speculated that, you know, yeah, the first time we knew. Yeah, that's true. It caused a few rumblings, the war crime bit. Oh, ASD is autism, okay. I'm hesitant to express that. I have my own thoughts about it, but the world is filled with people who read a Wikipedia description and diagnose themselves as neurodivergent. And I don't want to be one of those people. I also feel like whatever brain I've been given, I've developed the tools to navigate it well enough. But yeah. Given I don't know. Now when I try to communicate with my dad, it makes it more clear to me that I probably inherited something. Which, whatever. You know, we've all got a DNA cocktail in us that makes certain things in life easier and other things harder. BB number 9. Thank you for assuming that I'm in Japan. No, I'm in, like you corrected, I am in France. It's because Stephanie has a work trip here, and I got a cheap flight. So I am able to piggyback off of her hotel room. Also, Kane wants to slaughter this kid, because the king wants us to. Anything in Paris you want to go and see? I already went to see the Louvre, which I had a great time with that. I have tickets for the Eiffel Tower. Booked tickets for Sunset. There's a couple of museums I want to see. There's some restaurants that we booked based off of recommendations. Yeah, definitely want to go check out the McDonald's. Any plans to meet fans or collab with streamers there? Not at current, no. This is only a half working trip. Oh, can I always recommend the Pantheon? I saw the Pantheon in Rome. Is the French Pantheon gonna put up anything? I mean, should I stab her? Yeah, dialogue. This music? Oh yeah, she whips my ass. Yeah, we gotta fight a baby, yeah. Why are you murdering a girl? Because the king told us to pacify this town. Plus, she's the only one who knows what we did there. So, we got a clean house. Wasn't there a catacomb in Paris? Oh, there are. There's a big ass catacomb in Paris. Steph wants to see the catacombs. We only have like 3 nights in the city in Paris, and then we're going to Disney Paris for 2 nights, 2 days. So yeah, not a whole lot of time, kind of a whirlwind trip. Probably shouldn't be streaming, but I'm doing it anyway. Which reminds me, let's do another giveaway. Bring this up here. Okay, I've got one more code for Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Which is good, because after this, then I have some codes for the entire series. Final Fantasy 1 through 6. But, first... Nope, it's gonna be something different. It's the giveaway hasn't started yet. People are getting in there. Wait, it's not even... I'm sorry that it says that. Hold on. I wish I could reset it. I have to pick a new custom command. Alright, let's do this. Since we just encountered Child Summoner, this seems appropriate. Alright, if you want to win this code for 6 Pixel Remaster, type in sketch. Man. A broken drum beat is something else. I don't remember that from this track. That little trumpet? Ah! I don't remember that percussion being in the original. I could be wrong, though. I'm gonna have to look it up. Just sitting in the nostalgia. I never played this one. I didn't play it back when it came out, so it's not as deeply nostalgic for me, but... it's still good. It's got its own vibe, and it really requires you to find that vibe. Otherwise, I think the story is a little too freewheeling. There's not a whole lot of internal consistency to the logic of its story. It just kind of does whatever, and it invents melodramatic situations, like, with very little setup and very little world building. It invents the rules to create the drama at the same time the drama's happening, basically. So, if you need something that's, like, super internally consistent... Oh, the drum's there in the original? Man. I gotta listen to it. I don't remember it being so crisp. Oh, see you, Private Footer Whackin'. Thanks for gifting all the subs, by the way. Yeah, I should pick up Cyberpunk pretty soon. I'm gonna be grinding Elden Ring pretty hard when I get back to LA. I can't wait to just dump my life into that game. Hey, what's up, Sleeping Elite? Thank you for the link. I'll click that in just a second. Let's see who wins this game first, though. Click! Papa Baloo 01. Congrats. I'm playing 12 and 14. Great games. Yeah. I would say 12 is probably the most, like, grounded, intricate, subtle storyline. The most like a novel, I think. Very, like... very Game of Thrones-y, almost. There's just something about a lone lead trumpet. Subtle? It's Star Wars. Not really. People see the intro and they justifiably say, this looks like episode 1, but the storyline isn't really anything. Well, I guess episode 1 had a pretty subtle and political storyline too. The actual plot of the prequels is pretty subtle. Not the plots of any individual movie, those, they just tell you that, but the political shit of Palpatine, like, taking over the galaxy The most literal they ever get with that is the conversation between Dooku and Obi-Wan in Episode 2, I think. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Yeah. 12 is a Matsuno game. And yeah, Vagrant story. It's pretty dense in there. 12 is a retelling of the Hidden Fortress. I don't even know what that is. All I remember is peace. That ended up not being true. It wasn't peace. It was in fact war. Alright, let me listen to this original here. Why isn't that working? What the I'm trying to mute the game, but it's not working. There, okay. Sure. Hidden Fortress is the Kurosawa movie. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Was on Bruce's stream yesterday and someone mentioned that you said Elden Ring bosses are pure chaos and you have to hope it works in your favor. Do you remember on what boss you were when you said that? No. There was just some boss whose pattern I couldn't grab because it was just a whack-ass pattern. And then after like 2 or 3 attempts, I got a really favorable pattern and got the benefit of like some split-second UI decisions, and I just raffle-stomped the boss. I don't mean to imply that like it's only chaos and random chance, but I think, especially in Elden Ring, a lot of the boss fights are more chaotic. Like, Sekiro is very planned. You can control a Sekiro fight if you know the timing and you've memorized the attack patterns. From what little I've seen with Elden Ring, the bosses aren't designed to be fought that way. Yeah. That's really interesting percussion. Huh, I didn't remember that. Yeah, Sekiro bosses are a rhythmic dance. It's like Punch-Out on crack, basically. It's like Punch-Out on Ritalin. I should use a more modern drug. But if you know the patterns, you can just dominate fights in Sekiro. If you're over-leveled, I think you can dominate fights in Elden Ring. But just from what I've seen of the patterns and the combat design in Elden Ring, also the fact that they have to accommodate for so many different kinds of weapons and summons and ashes of war and all that stuff, it does seem like it's tuned around more bending the randomness of chaos to your favor than it is learning every single boss fight and being able to dominate it through skill. That's just amusing from my limited experience with the game, though. I felt that about other Souls games, though. Like Souls in contrast to Bloodborne or Sekiro, it really is, I think, just a question of the possibility space. The smaller the possibility space, which is to say, the fewer character builds or weapons or summons you can bring into a fight, the more they can tune it around specifically the tools you have, which in Sekiro is dodge, parry, and a couple of other things, items. But it's all tuned specifically around the timing windows of the tools they give you. Whereas in Elden Ring, the variability of character builds, the variability of what you might have coming into a fight, it's also wide open that they can't really drill down and custom tailor the difficulty of the combat experience. Which I think is another thing in Elden Ring's favor. I think that aspect makes people feel less like the challenge is a set mountain you have to climb, and more just like this chaotic jumble that you can bounce around in until you get like fights in your favor. It is kind of interesting that like people have really grabbed on to the aspect of Elden Ring being open world, whereas they didn't really feel that with, I say they, the like vague ascription to all players that are enamored with Elden Ring. Those aspects were there in Souls and even Demon's Souls. If you got to a hard boss, you could ostensibly go back and try a different stage. But for some reason that hurts more in those games than it does in Elden Ring. I think it's the fast travel. The fact that you can be at a boss door and just nope out of there, but know that you can come immediately back whenever you want. I think encourages people to explore that a lot more than getting all the way to the end of a stage, getting logjammed on a boss, and feeling like you have to abandon all of your progress and try something else. Hey, Loofbox. I'm having lots of fun in France so far. Can't beat playing Final Fantasy all day. The flight out was a little touch and go. I had 3 negative COVID tests, 2 quick tests and a PCR test, but I was sick. I felt really bad, but I was wearing a mask, but I was just like, nose was full on running the whole flight. So I had to very demurely kind of take off my mask and sort of dab my nose and then cinch back up, but that didn't make the flight very comfortable. Oh, I forgot to save. But that's okay. I've gotten better at my sitting posture, so at least I wasn't like in pain by the end of the flight. Before I did any amount of physical therapy, airplane seats would demolish me. I would just be like 2 or 3 hours sitting in airplane seats would just make me hurt. When my sister and I caught something akin to COVID, we had the same symptoms at the same time, and she tested positive while I didn't. Yeah, I have heard stories of people testing negative on the quick test, but testing positive on the PCR or the lab test. So, I don't know if that was the situation you were in. Maybe you were both doing quick tests and hers was negative and yours was... Or sorry, invert. Hers was positive and yours was negative. Maybe it's possible if you did a more thorough DNA test that it would have gone positive. Yeah, tests aren't 100% perfect. And the quick tests are pretty spotty. I mean, they're good for what they are. But you are just like rubbing nose snot on a strip. But yes, I can attest that I am not currently in Paris, Texas. When I went to Rome, I was also not in Rome, Texas. Texas has got it all, doesn't it? Except women's rights. Man. I had Texas pride for a long time, but I think it's truly dead now. I was really happy when we got hired on for Rooster Teeth because I was like, yes, Texas, yes, this is great. And in many ways, I've been weaned off of that. Is there a Berlin, Texas? Ooh, good question. Probably? Oh man, Tella, this is gonna get even more sad. Oh, I guess I'm not supposed to be here yet. If women were supposed to have rights, God would have put them in the Bible. Good point, Foppish. Didn't think about that. Didn't think about how God told us... God really told us everything we needed to do. Yeah, Cherry Ghost, do you live in Texas currently? It sucks because a lot of the people, like my high school and college friends, they're not down with any of this. Most people aren't. It's almost like a certain party keeps winning elections by somehow defying the popular will of the voters. Weird. Actually, in Texas, it's a pretty red state, so. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are bringing up some good points about biblical doctrine. Here's the secret, though. You just don't read the Bible. You just make up whatever the fuck you want, and you say it's in the Bible. I went to a conservative Christian church in Texas. I'm very, very unfortunately familiar with all that shit. Really, it was reading the Bible that started weaning me off that stuff, because it was impossible to avoid the conclusion that not only is the Bible a work of man, but Southern Baptist doctrine is even more a work of man. And it is also one of the things that's furthest away from Christian doctrine, ironically. My apologies, chat, if you are a currently practicing conservative Christian and you actually do try to live by the loving doctrine of Jesus, but a whole lot of people don't. Is this the first Final Fantasy? No, this is the fourth. This is the fourth. I'm ticking through them all. I'm just kind of playing them all a little bit. I'm gonna linger a lot longer on the sixth one though, because that's my shit. I'm a Christian, but I do not like conservative Christian doctrine. I can respect that a lot. I'm sure there are people out there, even conservative Christians, who actually try to live by love and peace and acceptance. Why am I getting arrested? I did what the king told me to. Oh yeah, nightlife. So there were stories about population exodus from California to Texas, but I don't think that was really a thing. I'm not sure that there was any actual data to support that, which is a pain in the ass because people in Texas were so fucking smug about that. Yeah, White Rabbit. Jesus was a liberal dude. He sure was. Redistribution of wealth, free healthcare, universal basic income. Yep. Sure was. I mean, quite literally, his philosophy is directly contrary to a lot of conservative Christianity, but hey, whatever. Alright, I'm just gonna drop a save here. Hey, what's up, Pop-Tart? Going to work an hour later so I can watch the stream for a little while. Nice. Yeah, I know some people that moved to Texas because they could get cheaper housing and there's no state income tax. So if you're a streamer and you work from home, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Except maybe you have to raise kids there and that kind of sucks. What's it like in Baguette Land? Well, I've been pretty tired most of the time. I'm still pushing back the forces of jet lag a little. But it's been good. I've also been getting over like a head cold, which I'm truly on the tail end of now, which is great. I haven't had to take any histamines or decongestants today. Only had to cough up a couple of wads of stuff. Oh yeah, Nick, the first Breath of Fire is on Switch Online, which is pretty cool. It's a tough thing. Cheap housing, human rights violations. Why can't I have both? Are you still hungover from Elden Ring? No, that only lasted a day. And it really wasn't as bad as it used to be. Yeah, cutting the liquor with some soda helped a lot. Stay a little more hydrated, a little less poisoned. Okay, let's level up a little bit here. I'm gonna do a giveaway. Oh wait, I have one more key. One more key for 6 Remaster. So let's do that. And then I'm gonna take a little breaksy poo, get up and walk around a bit. Did I close that tab? I did. Why did I close that tab? Texas doesn't have a state income tax, but it operates off sales taxes that make the overall payment to the state roughly the same as California people leaving for lower tax rates or in for a surprise. Well, California has sales tax too, right? I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it applies to more things in Texas than it does in California. I definitely remember seeing state sales tax on receipts in Texas all the time. Pretty much every U.S. state has sales tax. Yeah, Nomad, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? If sales tax was included in sticker prices in the U.S. That mattered more when you had to pay with paper money. I feel like it doesn't super matter now that everything's digital. But yeah, I remember being annoyed that things weren't in clean dollar amounts. So you always had to carry around change of like all kinds of stupid coins and shit. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Oregon doesn't have sales tax? Yeah, I said that. Screw it. Okay. Let's turn this one on here. Was that on the whole time? Or did I just turn that back on? Jeez. Anyway, put Runic in the chat to win a copy of Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. It took me forever. Oh, it wasn't on? Okay. I'm getting loopy. Which means I'm also probably, like I said before, oversharing on some charged topics, so... Let me just reinforce. Lest I insult anybody accidentally. I'm just some dweeb playing Final Fantasy and sharing my opinions about things. Very willing to be wrong about a lot of dumb bullshit I say. So, I know that these topics can be pretty intensely entwined with people's lives, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm up here sharing the one truth. It's Steam, White Rabbit, yeah. It is Steam. The Pixel Remasters are also available on Android and iOS. I was kind of hoping they were available on Switch. I'm kind of surprised they're not. I feel like it'd be a really good match for that platform too. And Square seems pretty cool about throwing everything on it. But yeah, perfect for a Steam Deck. The heavier, hotter, louder Switch. But it also runs, can run Elden Ring, so there you go. After this, we'll switch it up to 5. I'm not going to play 5 for very long, because I really just want to get started on 6. You said it about the Tactics remake? I think that's still happening. What is it? Triangle Strategy is there... I guess that's essentially a new Tactics, right? HD 2D? I guess Octopath did well enough now that they're branding it, which is pretty great. 5 has battle on the big bridge, but it takes forever to get there, right? That's the Gilgamesh fight theme. That's pretty decently far into the game. Starting to look from Boomer Skype called a political news channel talking head. I gotta be in a truck for that, right? I guess that's that's like a TikTok thing. It's like I just saw a brown person in the gas station, and I gotta share some political views before I drive home. I'm halfway through a Monster Energy, and I'm getting some thoughts. Time to record a political manifesto about how all the rest of the world are pussies. I'm a big strong man, yelling at my phone in the cab of my Ford F-150 in a Walmart parking lot after buying a family-size toilet paper. Oh! Sorry. Bass Pro Shops hat and reflective shades, yeah. I stepped on the cord and yanked the power adapter out of the wall. It's a kind of a long brick. Okay, let's do a draw. Bang. Have you been drinking? No, I'm just tired. Jet lag. Phrenologist! Congrats! But, I'm... At the way I feel now, I can stay up until, like, 9 or 10, which is perfect. That'll get me, like, right in sync with where I'm at. Ned Lobster, thank you for the sub. Is Steph with you? She's here in France, but she is currently at work. She is with the France region CD Projekt communications person. And they're just talking about work stuff. I think some other regions are going to be in town for the Cyberpunk event. So they have very rarely had time to be physically in person. Steph has worked with his team for 2 years now and has very rarely seen them in the same room together. So they're trying to get all the time that they can. How was the museum? It was awesome, but I was as loopy as I am now. I was on another level then, because I was still coming off of a pretty bad sickness. I had multiple kinds of antihistamines running through my blood, and I had been awake for like 28, 30 hours at that point. So, like 12 to 14 hours on planes and in airports. Checked into the hotel, got my COVID pass. Went to the museum, and then walked around for another 4 hours, just taking in all this art. What museums? Just the Louvre. Finally went to the Louvre, and it was great. It was great, you know. Can't get around the unavoidable weirdness of many different world cultures all collected in that one building. But as a tourist, it's great. Imperialism aside, got to see a lot of really cool shit. Okay, chronologist, yeah, let me send you your code here. Okay, yeah, break. Let me get up and get some stretching. Let me use the restroom, and I will be back. Yeah, you like this camera? Again, the more boomer framing, what I like that. Oh. Perfect, yeah. That's the I'm doing my yearly required Christmas or holiday call with my parents. Dad, back away, please. I can see up your nose. Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back.